Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Sinusoid, home of the Sinusoid Slate custom cable. Is it a custom cable?
Hey man, you get the length you want. That's custom in my book.
That is custom.
They make it when you order it so it's nice and fresh. It's like those loaves of bread you get from Safeway. Right when they come out the oven, you can smell it when you're walking around the store.
I don't think I've ever gotten one of those.
Sinusoid cables. They're the fresh French bread of cables. And they make cables and smiles. They're the vampire of cables. They last 100 years.
You're throwing in all the catchphrases this episode.
Sinusoid cables are the pet parrot of cables. They're going to outlive you with that 100-year guarantee. You're going to love them. Go check out sinusoidcables.com.
Hey guys, this episode is also brought to you by Walrus Audio. Tomorrow, they release the ARP87 delay. They're probably going to put out a video on their channel, and you should probably watch it if you want to know about it. But you should watch it after you check out our demo of the ARP87.
Absolutely. Check ours out first.
And then check out theirs.
Because if there's anyone who's familiar with the pedal that they made, it's going to be us.
Yeah. But check it out. Thanks to Walrus for letting us be part of their product launch and for sponsoring this episode.
Absolutely. Hey, this is Ryan.
And this is Steve, and you're listening to 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar, buying, selling, breaking, modding, fixing, playing, reviewing, breaking,
you got
playing,
you got screwed up because you skipped trading.
Trading.
You skipped trading.
Faking.
Podcast. Just about at this point. I mean, I haven't played guitar in a good year and a half. How about you, Steve?
I love how you just ghost play through all your demos.
Well, I recorded a bunch of riffs a couple of years ago, and I just keep using them over and over again. You know,
they're all just isolated guitar tracks from Dino Ghost.
You know, it's really true what they say. We have a lot to learn about guitars and tone. Oh man, what's new, Steve?
So what's new is actually I have a new pedal that I haven't got to use yet.
Oh yeah,
I got the SBN Trinity.
Oh yeah. You keep telling me about that thing.
Yeah, so
off show.
Basically I was on Gear Talk Praise and Worship, and this guy's like, anyone know about this pedal, the SBN Trinity? And a few of us who actually did know. So SBN pedals was like a really, I don't know who you would compare them to now, but
I've always gotten the impression that it's kind of like it was like a senior, and a guy who's in a senior, and it's kind of like an equivalent to like a wrought iron leather effects. Kind of like this guy's part of a scene that you were in, part of a community, and you were all just kind of buying his stuff.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think this was really pre-Facebook, so I think Ed over at Wrought Iron has actually a lot more traction.
Oh, of course.
But in terms of
it's a totally different scene now.
Yeah,
too.
Kind of being a guy in a scene. I've got, of course, the SBN Lil Eagle, which is an overdrive, the Big Daddy Amp Blaster, which is a boost, and their flanger, which I think was just the BYOC. So the guy actually who was doing SBN was a troubleshooter guy on the BYOC forums for a long time.
Oh, okay.
And so some of his pedal designs were basically taking the BYOC stuff and then doing very specific tweaks to make him his own and whatever. But the Trinity was a triple pedal he built. Boost, overdrive, distortion. The boost was a modified Big Daddy Amp Blaster, from what I understand. And then the overdrive and distortion were brand new circuits.
Okay.
Specifically for the Trinity. Now, one of those has often been referred to as the 22 caliber, which I don't know if you remember that single knob distortion pedal that I had.
Yeah,
it was on the bright orange box. So that pedal is the prototype for whatever ended up in the Trinity.
Gotcha.
So it's in a tall box. It's like the size of the Tim.
Oh, interesting.
I haven't had a chance.
The Tim is a big box.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to plug it in and mess around with it yet. But I'm thinking that as long as everything works out, it's going to become the the anchor, I guess you would say, for like a new board.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've got some shelving that I need to convert into a pedal board, so that will be like my starting point. But basically, I got it off of a dude on Gear Talk Praise and Worship, who traded a Walrus Voyager, I think, for it. But he was on the fence. He's like, I don't know if I should make this trade. And I just told him, I was like, look, like, if you make the trade and you don't like it, like, just let me know, and I'll buy it off of you as long as like I can swing it.
Sure.
So I ended up getting it for $140. I think.
Do you feel like that's a fair price?
Yeah, it's tough because the resale value is like, again, it's very niche. I've already had like a couple guys be like, dude, if you ever decide to sell it, like because I'm still on the forum where these pedals were popular. And so they only made like, I think 12 of these. There might've been 2 runs. So it might've been like a run of 12 and then like another run of like 6 or something.
Yeah.
The one that I have is acid etched.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's not just a screen print.
It's kind of like a limited
whatever.
edition.
Yeah, it's there. I think they're of that run of 12, like maybe half or 8 of them or something were etched. So it's really cool. I'm really looking forward to messing around with it. Hopefully, I can give a more thorough review pretty soon. I know I'm playing guitar live again at church in a couple weeks, so I'll probably try to, if I don't have a new board to put it on, I'll find a way to fit it on my current board.
Gotcha.
What's new with you, Ryan?
Man, what's new with me? Well, I'm going to tease something right now.
What are you going to tease?
I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm going to NAMM.
Oh yeah,
this week. I'm going to leave on Wednesday, and I'll be attending NAMM Thursday. But I'm planning on releasing information for something that we've been working on behind the scenes during NAMM.
Oh.
So you know what this is, but I'm not going to say what it is, but just, keep your eyes glued to social media around Wednesday and Thursday kind of time, and I'll be posting information, is what I'm saying.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Is that a thing we worked on today?
It's a thing that I've been working on with the guy that we know.
Oh, okay. So not the thing that we actually do need to talk about still.
No, but we do need to talk about that,
All
too.
right, well, let's talk about it later.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's talk about that in a little bit.
Let's get into some goodness.
Yeah, let's get into some ads, right?
This ad was sent in by somebody.
Ethan Barker.
Ethan Barker. This is a hybrid acoustic guitar. Now, normally when I think of a hybrid acoustic guitar, I think of like the Fender Stratocaustic.
Yeah, like an acoustic electric that's, like not good at being either.
Maybe the Epiphone Chet Atkins.
Yeah.
This one is a modified bass / acoustic electric guitar hybrid. Tuned EA bass, then DGBE guitar. Totally works.
Yeah, super works, I bet.
Make an offer. I'm not looking to sell for $300. It's listed for $300 plus $40 shipping.
So when I first looked at these pictures, I didn't even see what was going on, because what caught my eye initially was that it's a 3x3 headstock.
Yes.
The D-tuner had been moved to the middle top edge of the headstock.
Yes.
Like if this was a Gibson headstock, it would be like right in the middle of like the book fold in the middle. And I was just catching my eye. I'm like, why did they do this? I don't get it. Like, I was expecting to see damage around like the tuning peg hole.
Yeah, you kept saying to me like, there's no damage. There's no damage.
Yeah, I was like looking for like damage where like they would have needed to move it away from a crack or something like that. And then you pointed out what was actually going on is they converted the low E and A to bass tuners to host bass strings. And so they had to move that tuner up to get the string around the big fat bass tuners. And the whole thing just looks like a disaster to me.
Yeah, it's really, I kind of am interested in hearing this. The guy says there's a SoundCloud link. He compares it to Charlie Hunter, who, I don't know if you know who Charlie Hunter is.
No.
But I don't know who Charlie Hunter is.
I like the way that you resolved that, Steve. I don't know if you know who it is, but I don't know who it is either.
Apparently, he is he plays a custom 7 and 8 string guitars, and he is a jazz guitarist.
I'm not surprised. My first thought when I realized what was going on here was that this was a local H style acoustic guitar. But here's my main thought on this. Besides the bizarre hack job on the tuners. Oh gosh, and the bridge too. What is going on? How are the bass strings being held in?
Well, one of the bass strings is being held in, and the other one appears to not.
The bridge looks like a wreck. But here's my initial thought on this. This might work, and this might play great, for the first week or two that you have it like this. Eventually, this neck is going to twist around like a Twizzlers. It's going to look like a licorice stick after a while, because those
licorice.
The tension on those bass strings is going to warp the truss rod, right? This is not a balanced setup.
I don't know. I mean, it's not balanced, but then it really comes down to how much tension is really being put on there and if it's being offset. So, I mean, without looking at, obviously, it seems like it should be really off balance, and that could potentially do some damage to the wood over time. But I mean, you're also talking about this being a BC Rich acoustic guitar. The guy's asking $300 for it,
which is about $150 too much in my opinion.
Sure, but how much are you worried about just being in existence is potentially warping the wood on this guitar?
Right.
There's nothing here where you're like, oh, over 10 years I warped the neck on this crazy acoustic guitar head. Yeah, but you paid $300 for it. So over 10 years you paid $30 a year. Big deal.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think this is a good gamble. For $300, I wouldn't buy this.
So $150 you would consider this.
$150 is novelty money for this guitar.
All right.
Is what I'm saying. I actually don't mind the look of it otherwise. I haven't seen a BC Rich acoustic like this before. I kind of like the bright red cherry look of it.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat.
And the body shape isn't bad. It's a standard single cutaway acoustic shape. It's not like a crazy warrior shape or something like that. Like what BC Rich guitars can be.
It would be better if it was.
I would play a thin line. What is the X shape?
The Warlock.
The Warlock. I would play a thin line.
I think that's the one you were thinking of.
Not thin line, but like the Fender acoustics, the Tele acoustics. I would play one of those. A hybrid acoustic. But yeah, this thing is mangled. I would not spend real money on this thing for sure. All right, do we want to get into the topic?
Let's get into this first topic.
We're ripping through this episode already. This is fast. So let's see if I can get to the screen grab. All right. Paul Grant posted on our Facebook group. He says, this is new. He found I'd play that. Acoustic Warlock. Steve found a picture of one. Paul Grant says, this is new. My phone is now listening to 60 Cycle Hum and picked up on the mention of Chapman guitars in 176 and giving me ads based on that. Spoopy.
That's kind of nerve-wracking.
It's kind of a little like Big Brother-ish, right?
Are you sure we didn't put? I'm trying to figure out what episode.
You're the one who writes the description. I'm wondering if
I wrote it in the description or something.
I don't think so because it was I vaguely remember that, and it was a very side mention.
Okay, hold on. It was in 176. Let's check the feed.
Yeah, check it out, Steve.
Either way, hey. I guess Google's got good taste in podcasts.
I'm impressed that they're listening. I'm honored that Google is listening to us, and they're one of the downloads on our weekly downloads list. I think it's an honor to have an entire company listening to our podcast.
Well, at least one person, right?
At least one robot at Google is listening to our podcast and picking out
the few
keywords it can to see if they can target ads at people.
If all the robots at Google were listening to this podcast, you all would be getting a lot more
Coors ads.
Coors ads. A lot more Facebook advertisements for Julian apple pie.
Oh, this is okay. Here's the part of the show where we just like mention things that would be embarrassing or frustrating for people to have targeted toward them. For
why I buy Chevy? Because they're built like a rock.
Yeah, I like things that are built like rocks. Speaking of rocks, have you shopped at Zales lately?
I haven't. Speaking of rocks, have you ever had Rolling Rock?
I have had Rolling Rock, Steve.
I don't know. Is it bad?
It's all right. I've always heard that it was better before it got bought out by whoever bought it out. I don't know who bought it out, but
it's in a green bottle, so it's probably Heineken.
I have no idea, honestly. Okay,
how do you feel about Lagunitas in the post Heineken era?
What's a really good brand that we could just that if people start getting targeted, they would know, like for sure.
Oh man!
Hey, you know what I love? I love me that Fiji water.
Oh, Fiji water is the best. It tastes just like the ocean.
I like the way that they take that Fiji water out of an island and then put it on a boat over more water and bring it to me in a place where that's not even close to that island.
Yeah.
Love that Fiji water. Have you been getting targeted for these ads on Facebook and Instagram for Orb?
What's Orb?
Well, my initial thing that I want to say is when you ask that is that Orb is horse. That's a joke from my brother, and me.
Oh, I haven't listened to my brother, and me in like a year.
Well, this was like from 3 years ago. Something that stuck with me. So anyways, there's this new product that's like a water additive called Orb.
Okay.
It's been targeted at me so hard I can't believe it. Like every social media is like advertising it to me.
Have you ever clicked on a link for it?
No. But I comment on it.
That's why you keep getting more.
But I was getting flooded with it. I was like, I got to comment on this. So I just comment Orb is horse now to reference the My Brother and Me podcast joke. They blocked me on Facebook over it because I kept saying Orb is horse, but they haven't figured out how to block me on Instagram yet. So I still comment Orb is horse every chance I get. But it's stupid because they blocked me on Facebook, but I still see the ads. And I said, weird. Like, I don't want to see these ads anymore to Facebook, but they still show me the ads. They must be spending $1 billion advertising this.
That's crazy.
Orb garbage to me.
I just generally find things I click on come back. And
sure.
You know, sometimes it's bad because like I just want to like send you a link. Like this happened back when we were talking about shipping. When you were first starting to like, when you had a bunch of stuff to sell on Reverb and you were asking me about it, I was like, oh, I use these packages, but like if you have a box, it might be cheaper to use these poly mailers from Amazon. So I click on I pull up the Amazon, I find the poly mailers, I send you the link. Then for the next like week afterwards, I get all these Amazon ads in every app that Amazon is in for poly mailers. So I'm playing like, friggin' Candy Crush or whatever, like whatever stupid phone game, gotta feed the monkey sort of game I'm playing, and an Amazon ad pops up for poly mailers.
Right. Well, anytime I buy anything off of Amazon, they advertise it to me for like 6 months. It's like, I already bought it, guys.
The worst part is when you put something in your cart on some site because you want to know how much shipping is going to be.
Yeah.
But then you see the shipping price. I did it on some company's site, and for whatever reason, it wouldn't let me like remove it from their cart. So I was just like, whatever, I'm out of here. And then for a week, I was getting emails. Hey, did you still got this in your cart, bro? And so between that and then I was getting ads being like, are you still interested in like?
Right.
I don't even remember what it was.
Well, to wrap up this topic, I just got to say, upset stomach, constipation, diarrhea. Maybe it's time to get some Pepto-Bismol. Clear out your stomach issues. All right, let's get on to the next ad.
For half an hour. All right, we got a couple of these themed this week. This was sent by Josh Marmon. Actually, it's posted to the Facebook group. This is a...
I wish we had more pictures of this.
There were a few on there. I'm surprised you only did the one.
Yeah,
This is a guitar neck / amp in Dolgeville, New York. This is a guy who takes... he makes lamps out of like guitar stuff. So this one is an Epiphone neck attached to a Squier SP10.
Well, we've seen
amp.
We've seen guitar lamps before where someone takes a neck and turns it into a guitar. It turns it into a lamp. This takes it a step further and runs the guitar neck into a tiny little practice amp
Yeah.
So it's like combining elements into a lamp. At some point, he's going to figure out how to combine a pedal into these things and have 3 elements going on at the same time. I don't know where the pedal will be. Maybe it'll be the switch for the light.
I have no idea, but he's got this guy, and he's got a microphone lamp, which is sort of the same thing, but instead of the neck of the lamp being a guitar neck, the neck of the lamp is a microphone.
The neck of the lamp is a microphone.
Yeah.
How big of a microphone are we talking here?
It was weird, but I saw the picture.
Was there a microphone stand incorporated in it?
Maybe not.
I wish I could see this picture, Steve. I just wish I could look at it.
Why didn't you look at it when you
eyes.
grabbed the screenshot of this thing?
Sorry, Steve.
You had it in your hands.
I've failed you, Steve. I'm so sorry.
You have failed me for the last time.
Not for the first time, that's for sure.
Nope. Here.
What the hell?
I found it. I'm showing it to you, Ryan. I'm showing it to you to make this pod so great sounding.
What microphone is that?
I don't know, but it's long. It's a long microphone.
And there's a guitar clock here. Ooh, that guitar clock looks bad. Yeah, you got to put all these pictures.
It says the guitar clock is sold.
Of course it is. You got to put all these pictures into the description.
I'll try to remember to do it, but
But this looks bad, right? All this looks bad to me.
Yeah.
I think it's all ugly.
Gross.
$40 for a guitar neck amp. Like, this guy is wasting his time on these.
But people are buying them.
How is he getting these necks and amps? He must
be.
The
ad says that Marshall amp and clock are gone. They have sold. The guitar clock
But where is
sold.
he getting the raw materials cheap enough to make a profit doing this?
I don't know, man. Maybe
he must be raiding, like,
he's probably
garage sales or something.
So he probably owns a guitar shop, and some kid dropped that Epiphone off of
their broken
the wall. It's broken. He's already written it off his taxes, and then he's like glued the neck back together and turned it into a lamp.
I'm guilty of making lamps before.
I've never made a lamp.
You know that about me. There's a lamp in the kitchen room over here that's an old lawn ornament.
Oh, that
I drilled.
Yeah.
What I say is anything you can drill a hole through can be a lamp, like, because you can just put the stuff in there to make it a lamp.
What about me, Ryan? Can you turn me into a lamp?
Yes, I could. Yes, I could, Steve. I could turn you into a beautiful lamp.
All right, cool.
But I just think this is ugly, and it falls under what I've said before. Guitarists don't need to be reminded that they play guitar with, furniture and, novelty neckties and, like goofy little like knickknacks and things like that. Like, the way to decorate your living space, if you're a guitarist, is to put a fret rest guitar holder on the wall. Let's see if that shows up in Google results now. And hang a guitar in the room you're in. That's the way to decorate a room for a guitarist, is to hang an actual guitar in there, not to like have goofy lamps or, rugs that are shaped like acoustic guitar bodies, not to have like a swimming pool shaped like an electric guitar in your backyard. Like, just put a guitar in the place where you want to be. That's how you decorate. Or an amp, You put the thing that you like in the room is what I'm saying, Steve.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
Steve is done with this already.
All right, we got some housekeeping to take care of.
Let's do it.
First, I want to welcome Albert Lanier Mills IV to the Inner Circle. He did that by sending us $10 a month on through the Podbean patronage
site. So he's going to get a nice package in the mail soon, right?
Yeah, I sent it out.
You did already?
This morning.
Wow, Steve, I'm impressed.
Yep. We only have one barefoot button left.
I need to hit them up and see
one Inner Circle
if I
barefoot
can
button.
get more for the Inner Circle.
It could just be the last one.
It could be the last one. We'll see what I can work out.
I would also like to make a shout out to XQT1066253753476858.
He's a good friend of mine. I call him Q for short.
Anyway, basically what happened is somebody signed up to pledge to the 60 Cycle Hum Podbean account through Facebook. So the contact email I have is through Facebook. I don't know who you are. And I pulled the image and I posted on the 60 Cycle Hum Facebook group, and nobody knew who you were.
Yep.
And a lot of people wanted to call you Beefy McBeefcake.
Oh.
Because you are a musculatured man playing guitar.
A handsome fella.
With a forearm tattoo. So I guess I'm going to leave it up to you to reach out to us when you hear this, because I don't really know what to do from here.
Well, if you're listening to this and you know who you are, hit us up and tell us your real name. Or just stay anonymous, but you're never going to get any of the benefits from pledging to us, which is unfortunate.
All right, last thing here.
Nope. We got one more. Oh, okay. What do you got? Oh, well, I was going to say we have one more guitar furniture ad to talk about.
Oh, we got another guitar furniture ad.
Yeah, this is another ugly piece of guitar furniture.
I hated this one so much, I forgot about it.
It's really bad. This was on the Ugly Guitars Facebook group.
This isn't even an ugly guitar. It's an ugly table.
It's an ugly table made out of guitars. It is like a Les Paul style body, which I'm guessing... It doesn't look like it was ever a bolt-on because there's not holes in the back.
No, it says it was a Epiphone Les Paul, and based on what these parts are, I think this is the Epiphone Les Paul Custom.
Okay, so it has 3 legs.
Yes.
It's the body, but the back of the body is the tabletop, so the pickup side is facing down to the floor.
You have to do it that way.
And then there's 3 legs on it. 2 of the legs they look like piano bench legs.
Yeah.
One of the legs is the neck.
Yep.
And if you know anything about Gibson style neck design, you're not going to be able to put like 2 glasses of beer on this before that headstock breaks.
Right.
But this just looks awful, right?
It's not my favorite.
It looks really bad to me.
It's just too small to do anything with, and that tripod design should be stable, but it just doesn't look.
It doesn't matter if it's stable. There's a little bit of an arch to the back of the guitar, I think. And it's just never going to be perfectly flat.
The guitar should be flat.
Well, it's never going to be perfectly flat. And then you have the control cavity thing back there that doesn't look like it's flat with the body.
Well, that's
There's
true.
just not a lot of surface area here to actually put things on this table. You could put a guitar lamp on this table and complete the ugliness. Like put that amp neck lamp on here. It would actually work because that was an Epiphone neck too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. $30 for this. This is another one where it's like, it must have been really broken, and they were like, "Oh, let's just experiment with this." It's $30. Like, how did they get this guitar, and why did they spend so much time ruining it to do this awful thing to it? I'm just not stoked about this at all. This is terrible.
Sorry, dude.
You done the bad thing to another guitar made furniture. All right, now let's talk about the brand new adventures of the Wheel of Pedals.
Wheel of Pedals.
All right. So we're rebooting the Wheel Pedals again. It went kind of dead for a while.
Yeah.
Every now and then someone would send something in. We did the $100 used value minimum.
Yeah, and it's a nightmare because the market is in flux. Half the stuff you guys have is either so new that it's not on the used market, or it's so rare it's not on the used market. So it's just super hard to verify prices. You know, I always like to get my prices off of eBay. Other people want to use Reverb, and I'm like, yeah, this thing's been on Reverb for like 3 months. It's never going to sell at $103. So your pedal's not worth $100. Sorry, dude.
I think it was just too confusing.
Yeah. So new wheel pedals. First thing, we're going to try to put on YouTube.
Yeah.
At least the first one that we recorded today is going to be on YouTube. Second thing, our new price cutoff. So we still want to keep the wheel pedal special.
Yeah.
So to do that, we're still going to keep a price point up there. We just don't want to, we're trying to not have Dan Electro food pedals.
We're trying to not have DoD grunge pedals or Boss DS1s
or Metal Zones or Metal Cores.
Like basically anything that exists in like this no one wants it, we all had them as teenagers kind of realm.
Right. So the new cutoff is going to be $125 minimum advertised price.
That's the new price, guys.
Yeah, that's basically if you go on Sweetwater, Musician's Friend, Guitar Center, whatever, and that's the price that they show online, then that is the value that we're referencing. Basically, we picked this price point because we kind of went through a lot of different pedals that we thought were cool right now, and kind of just saw how that played out. So pedals that aren't eligible would include the Boss Metalcore. Pedals that are eligible would include the TC Electronics Sub and Up.
Yeah.
Is that TC Electronic?
It is.
It would include the Paul Cochran Timmy.
There you go. It would include the brand new Keeley Compressor Plus.
Yep.
Which is 130 new. So it's like just over the wire there. But that's a great pedal.
Yep. It would not include the DoD Carcosa Fuzz.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Is that anything even for sale still?
Yeah, it's like $100 new. The problem with that is it's such a budget deal. But there's tons of stuff in that range above 125 MSRP. We don't have to worry about used values anymore.
Yeah.
We have a separate Facebook group for this now, so go check out the Wheel of Pedals Facebook group. And that's where we'll post all the rules and all the videos and things like that.
So now things hopefully will be simpler. Obviously, there are pedals out there that were originally worth less than $100 that are now worth more.
Sure.
And we will take those on a case-by-case basis, but we're hoping that this simplifies it a lot, where like I want to say the EHX Big Muff version 7 was originally like $50 or $60, and now it's worth like $90 to $110, like somewhere in that range. So that's one where it's like, well, the map was super low, but now it's actually like worth a little more.
Right.
And like I said, we'll deal with those on a case-by-case basis, but I think overall it's going to make this like a lot easier all around.
Yeah.
And it's going to help us like achieve our goal of
we're just trying to make
ultimately make the Wheel of Pedals better.
We're just trying to make it more enjoyable for the people who want to participate and make it easier for people to participate.
And just make it easier for people to take a risk on something that they spent maybe some more, $150, $200 on.
Yeah.
That they don't really want to sell for one reason or another, but wouldn't mind doing a blind trade.
It also closes the gap for people who do contribute something that's like really nice. Like the pedal we got in tonight is really nice.
Yeah, the Wampler Faux Tape Echo.
So it kind of closes a gap for those people that they know that they can, people who want to throw something really nice at the board aren't going to get cheated when they get a $20 Danelectro food pedal,
Yeah.
So that kind of helps it out a bit. All right, let's move on to the next topic. You ready to go with that?
Let's get on to that next topic. Joey Chambly sent Ryan a message and he said, "Hey, I couldn't find your thread because Steve wrote it or something." But what he said is, how much success can the companies who are giving endorsement deals you YouTubers... What? How much success can the companies who are giving endorsement deals you YouTubers have?
2 YouTubers.
Yeah, okay. Basically, okay, here's the question. I'm just going to just break this thing down because clearly I can't read right now.
Thanks, Coors.
Would you buy a YouTuber signature product? We're talking about Victory amps, Chapman guitars, both of which are kind of like off of the Rob Chapman brand, who Chappers is, of course, the guy who does a lot of Anderton's demos and a lot of other stuff. That's and he says, I'm thinking of Victory amp Chapman guitars launched by YouTuber and seem to only have signature models for other YouTubers. Other ones he's not thinking of. The one that came to mind right away for me is the Keeley D&M, which was for Dan and Mick of that pedal show.
I think so.
The pedal guys, those pedal dudes, that pedal show. That's what they're called.
Them pedal boys.
So aside from those two, I couldn't really think of a lot of signature models for YouTubers. I don't know if there's a lot of them. And then in turn, I guess the question is, I think that could be an untapped market.
Sure. Well, you think about the way people buy guitar equipment now. Like it used to be, you'd flip through a magazine and Eddie Van Halen would be sitting there playing his signature Kramer with a signature Dunlop pedal. And you'd be like, well, I guess I'm going to go buy that stuff because I want to sound like him. Everyone buys gear based off YouTube demos now. And these videos can have thousands upon tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of plays on them. That's more audience than most bands get these days. it just seems like a no-brainer to me from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah.
Like if there's a really popular like demo guy or like YouTube personality playing guitar, like why wouldn't you want to make something signature for them where their fans would be inclined to buy it, you know? Like there's that guy who makes those bass demos where he like just plays like ridiculous parts,
yeah, I know what
like
what
doing
you're
something
talking about.
crazy. Like someone will be like, "Oh, can you make a song using condiments?" And he'll make a song,
right,
like condiment sounds, like slapping mustard and like squirting ketchup bottles and things like that. Or he'll do like a whole thing where he plays an entire song, the percussion, the rhythm, and the lead parts, all with a fretless bass or something like that. Like that guy gets crap ton of views, crap ton of like subscribers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If I was a
guy.
bass company, I'd totally be looking to give that guy a signature and be like, hey, use this every time and like advertise it on your channel. Steve is pulling up some video.
Yeah, I'm trying. The guy's name is the YouTube channel is Davey504.
Yeah.
His name is, I don't know. He just says he's Italian.
There he is.
No name.
Just an Italian.
His name is Davey. But he's an example. I actually really enjoyed. He did a video recently that was he did a $100, $1,000, and $10,000 bass. And that one was a really cool video. But yeah, they're definitely guys that I think it depends on the kind of work they're doing. I think guys who are doing kind of like gimmicky stuff like that, and guys that do tutorials would probably have the most success. And they're things where it really depends on what their end goals are. Like, part of me thinks like, oh, a pedal for Andy, from PGS, or like some kind of like thing for Andy could be really good. But then at the same time, like something like that, because he's almost strictly a demoer.
He's actually had to switch away from using fancy gear.
Well, not just that, but like because he's so much of a demoer, like he can't really promote his own brand of stuff. Whereas like, I mean, I guess if he had like a signature guitar, but then sometimes he's demoing a guitar.
Yeah, but it's also like he switched away from using like the fancier guitars and the fancier amps because people were complaining like, yeah, this pedal sounds great, but you're using, the super fancy amp that no one else has. So he switched to using like a Fender Deluxe Reverb or something like that. So that's a hard case for him where like if I was a builder, I'd be like, yeah, I want Andy to play my stuff all the time, but then it might just not work for a guy like that.
Yeah, you got to figure out like what that niche looks like, and that's where it seems like a lot of these other guys who have done it. I don't know. Some YouTubers, like, they're so anonymous in a sense. Like, I don't really know who the Knobs guy is. I'm sure it's a guy.
I've met him before.
You met? I was going to say I thought you had met him before, but it's like
I can't remember his name or his face. So if I meet him again,
right,
I won't know it.
But it would have to be like some kind of lessons guy. But if you found something and it worked, like one of the things that really works, I think, about Chapman guitars, one is the association with Chapman. Two is just that like they're priced right. They're priced. YouTube is a young person's game, and those instruments are really like well marketed and well priced for a younger audience to be able to afford them. So I think those are important things. I don't know if a pedal might have the same kind of accessibility in terms of like that younger market. I mean, to some extent, maybe, but obviously, like Keeley thought it was a good enough deal that he worked something out with that pedal show guys.
Yeah. I haven't checked that pedal out yet, but it looks cool at NAMM. There's like a double drive, like one side.
I think it's like a drive and a boost.
One side for each of the guys, something like that. Do you think we're deserving of our own signature gear, Steve?
No.
You don't think we're deserving of like an amp or a pedal or like a signature 60 cycle home guitar or anything like that?
If we had a signature amp, it would just be a rebadged Squier Frontman 15. and someone's just going to corner the market on them, buy like 40 of them for like $10 or like 20 or $30 a piece. Take the Fender logo off, slap our sticker on, and be like, "Look, guys, signature amp."
Yeah. Man, what would a 60 cycle hum signature amp even look like?
Garbage.
It'd probably just be, like a clean solid state, like 3-knobber or something like that, right?
I don't even want to know, man.
It'd be like a quilter.
It'd probably not know very much about tone.
It would have a lot to learn about guitars and tone. Oh man. Yeah, it's tough. Like, what would a 60 cycle hum guitar look like? Because you play bass, I play guitar. Like, would it be double neck?
Would it be humbuckers? Would it be? I mean,
would it be singles?
It's the kind of thing where it's like, we kind of, you get stuff in that you use for a lot of YouTube videos, but whatever kind of signature instrument that we'd get, if we wanted to promote it all the time, like, it would have to be something. It couldn't be crazy.
Yeah,
it could be like a crazy shape, maybe, but it'd have to be a fairly conventional pickup setup.
It still has to work like a normal guitar. Yeah. I mean, a pedal, who even knows, right?
Probably a flanger.
Yeah, probably a big old flanger. It's like a fuzz flanger.
It'd be a flanger. It'd be a flanger and like a fuzz in one.
So there's that pedal that company made for Jack White that doesn't have any knobs. It's just a big switch on it.
Third Man.
Yeah. I forget the company that makes them though.
Well, I think it was Union.
Yeah, Union.
Yeah, Union Tube and Transistor.
Yeah, I interviewed the guy at
Tube and whatever.
So my thought was, why the switch? What if there was a pedal that was literally just a box you plugged into it and there was no knobs and no switches?
Oh my
gosh. It was just always on and you couldn't adjust it ever. I think that would be like our signature pedal. Like, it could be a buffer, like that's normal for buffers, but what if it was a fuzz, like the craziest fuzz, or like an always on overdrive or something like that?
I could get into that. I think I could get into that. No switches. You just plug it in. One gain.
Yeah.
Would the gain be set to unity?
There's no volume knobs. There's no gain knobs. There's no knobs at all. No switches.
Basically,
it's just a box.
If you didn't own a loop pedal, you would be hosed.
It's for loop guys only.
Or you just have to. It's for always on guys only.
The thing is, no, it's like a 24 decibel boost that's always maxed, always on.
Oh, that's disgusting.
All right, let's move on to the last ad.
Yeah, this one. This is a Jackson guitar. This was sent by Tim Hemingway.
It is a guitar, isn't it?
It's a mid-2000s Dinky Pro, made in Japan. Not to be confused with the made in not Japan's, with Jackson pickups. These have Seymour Duncan 59s, wired with a 3-way selector. Here are some selections that illustrate how good of a deal it is. Link to reverb, link to reverb, link to reverb. Missing a gig bag, backplate, and trem bar. Other than that, this guitar is flawless.
It's missing the backplate? How does that work?
I don't know, man. But this is.
He means the spring cover.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the neck plate.
No.
Okay. So
I hope not.
The only thing about this that really caught my attention was where he said not to be confused with the made not in Japan.
Yeah.
Jackson pickups.
Those very famous made not in Japan.
Like they're labeled like made not in Japan.
Yeah.
the MNJs. The MINJ is made not in Japan.
Made in the MNIJ. Yeah. All right. I mean, that's a very thing. I've got
a lot of guitars that are made not in Japan.
Yeah.
I think I really favor guitars that are made not in Japan.
Next time I sell a Mexican Stratocaster, I'm going to be like, this is a made in Mexico Stratocaster, not to be confused with a made not in Mexico Stratocasters. What does that even mean?
Exactly. Is this a really weird phrasing? And that's literally the only thing entertaining about this ad. But here we are talking about it.
Yep.
Where did this ad come from? Is this?
It's on KSL, I think.
Oh, KSL. So this is a not featured on Craigslist ad?
Yeah. This is a featured on a local news channel classified.
This is a not on Reverb ad?
Yeah.
Not on eBay ad? Just tell me where it is and I'll find it.
This is a not located in a state that isn't Utah ad.
Is that a fancy way of him just not trying to avoid saying where the pickups were made? Like if he's like feels embarrassed that they were made in Taiwan or something?
I don't, that's the thing that's weird because he says made in Japan, not to be confused with the made in not Japan's with Jackson pickups. So he's saying like this is higher quality. This has Seymour Duncan's in it.
Right.
But it's like, why not just say this is a made in Japan model? They put Seymour Duncan pickups in these because it was a higher end line.
Right. Like, what if the made not in Japan pickups are made in a better place than Japan? Like, what if they're made in Atlantis? I know, right? Mind blowing.
All right, big thanks.
Steve has this look on his face of just pure adoration, and like I can tell he's so impressed with the idea that I had that the pickups might be made in Atlantis. That long silence, like, oh, there was a tear coming out of Steve's eye. He got so emotional.
Yeah, I'm having an emotion. That's true. All right, big thanks this week to our sponsors, Walrus Audio. Again, check out the ARP 87 demo
coming out tomorrow. It's really cool.
In fact, it'll be in the liner notes for this ep too.
Unless someone leaks it, and then we'll publish the video sooner.
Who's going to leak it?
Someone always leaks. This is the worst.
All right, and big thanks to Sinusoid. They make cables.
And smiles.
And other kinds of cables.
Yes, they make cables and other kinds of cables. Good point.
All right. This week's music was sent to us by the Shy Boys.
Okay, let's talk about the Shy Boys for a minute. This is the Shy Boys minute right here.
They've been doing demos for EHX.
No, they did it for Dr. Scientist, for the Bit Quest.
They did the Bit Quest. I also saw one for the EHX Glorp or whatever. Glotch.
They also did a shootout between Electric Mistresses, which is like a flanger. They're a band. Mm-hmm. Shy Boys is a band, and they have a YouTube channel where they post their music videos. They started doing gear demos too, and they are flat out hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, so good. They're so good that I get angry because I wish I had come up with these concepts first. And it's totally like in my wheelhouse, so it makes me double angry.
When I watched the BitQuest one, I was like, we could have done this.
We could have done this. And okay, here's how it goes. Their review show is called Effects and Pedals Arena Corner. And it starts out with this really terrible, like low rent CG, like zoom in on an arena stadium, and then like zooms behind the stadium to like this corner that looks like
it's real rough.
It looks like you're playing like Castlevania or something like that, and it's all green screened. And what's the guy's name?
I don't remember.
Billy Cardigan does the demos, and the way he talks is just a pile of cliches from all the worst like demos in the world. And then they take a break in the middle of the demo to do a vaping segment where a different guy like talks about vape equipment for like 2 minutes, and then it goes back to the rest of the demo. It's hilarious. It's such a fun demo format. Oh, and the guy, he only plays 2 songs the whole time. He only plays Mary Had a Little Lamb or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Like, those are the only songs he plays. Mm-hmm. But somehow it works, and you actually get like a good idea of how the pedal works.
Yeah. At least it works for the BitQuest.
Yeah, it makes me question everything I'm doing as a YouTube demoer. I'll say that.
All right, so we're going to play 2 tracks from them back to back. This first track is called Why Do I Always Bleed? And the second track is going to be called Two Horses, parentheses, and Two Naked Boys.
Yeah, this is off their brand new album with the title of that last song is the title track. Yep. So Two Horses and Two Naked Boys. So go check them out. Find them on Bandcamp. Buy their whole album. Watch them on YouTube. The Shy Boys. I'm a big fan. Later.
Bye.
This This world is so mysterious, and it makes me feel delirious. Why is there death? Why is there pain? Who the heck put us upon the earth? Why do some children die at birth? Is there a heaven or a hell? But of all these questions that I ask, there's just one that comes right back to me. Why do I always believe whenever I brush my teeth? Do I have a disease? I'm like a raw piece of meat. Whenever I brush my teeth, I spit a little pool of blood. Tell me, why does the rain pour? Who the heck am I at my core? If I come, will you go? Why is love ever so fleeting? How much is first class seating? Some things we'll never know. But of all these questions that I ask, there's just one that comes right back to me. Why do I always believe whenever I brush my teeth? Do I have a disease? I'm like a raw piece of meat. Whenever I brush my teeth, I spit a little pool of blood.
Two horses on two naked boys. Two horses, which one will you choose? Two horses on two naked boys. Two horses driving down the highway, blue light 69. Driving with the top down, soaking up sunshine. Turned on the radio and I run la la la. Change the station, I'd rather hear NPR. I gotta get away, I gotta go far, I gotta be free, be who I am. Throw my hands in the air, wishing for the stars. Oh, two horses on two naked boys. Two horses, which one will you choose? Two horses or two naked boys. Two horses running out of sunshine, spent the whole day up on my feet. I found this little funky joint where I could take a seat. Bartender asked me, where would I like to drink? I said, woman, not run out, but I'm trying to think. I gotta get away, I gotta go far, I gotta be free, be who I am. Throw my hands in the air, reaching for the stars. Oh, two horses on two naked boys. Two horses, which one will you choose? Two horses on two